Welcome to another installment of Tag Me In, where the triple threat brain trusts a tag over the good, the bad, and everything in between in the world of professional wrestling. I, of course, am the unofficially official Lip Dizzle, joined with none other than the less than stealthy unicorn himself, Mr. Scooter E. Adonic.
You know, I ain't got a grill and all, but just imagine a grill being there, you know, on my hit row shit today. You know what I'm saying? Because if you didn't know, now you know.
Hit row. And of course, ladies of the IWC, the heartthrob of the community himself, Mr. Jaeger Bombastic. So fantastic that if Darby Allin didn't have Gigi Dolan for himself, he'd be on the attack.
Well, technically he doesn't have
I mean, I heard they got divorced, so
did they?
Yeah.
Gigi Dolan though.
Wait, so maybe I was so focused on having them attached to each other. Sorry, Priscilla Kelly.
Yeah.
/ Gigi Dolan.
Yeah.
If she's not with Darby anymore, let me see how far, because let me see how much of a fool I'm about to make myself.
I think they had a quarantine divorce.
Yeah.
Oh, this was last year. Okay, it's fine. It's still somewhat fresh.
You know, if you don't know, now you know.
So it's redacted. Jaeger, you may go on the attack.
Attack.
What's up, Gigi? I mean, sweet dreams are made of these, you know. Anyways,
okay.
It is still a fantastic theme for her to have, but I still need JC Jane to like calm down with the extra on her walk.
I'm on that
as far as like the entrance.
I mean, you know, that's why we call him the heartthrob for a reason. You know what I'm saying? He's showing off the arm. You know what I'm saying? Look, he's gonna give you the gun show. Okay.
Whoa. Saying
Okay.
AEW, we ain't got the Gun Club on here yet.
That's fair.
How did whatchamacallit say? Adam Sandler, when they was doing that Longest Yard, it was that song Nelly had for the Longest Yard soundtrack, and Adam Sandler was in the
Here
video.
Comes the Boom or something like that, right?
I think so, but at the end of the video, he was like, Nelly, you need to go put on a shirt. You making everybody look fat around here. You know what I'm saying? Jaeger around here showing off the guns and everything.
I mean, we'll get to the Gun Club later. We'll talk about that later.
Look,
as who was it? As Snoop said, or Dr. Dre, or both said, till the next episode.
Hey, to the next episode.
Look, this is going to be completely unrelated, and sorry for everybody that came in for professional wrestling, but does anybody know if in the cartoon Cat Dog, shout out to Nickelodeon, they had a restroom in their house?
I think so.
I'm trying to figure out who would pee and who would poop.
Well, yeah. Well, see, here's the thing. If I understand, if I can get the answer of like, you know, hey, they had a restroom, then I can open up the dialogue for the question of, all right, how did they go to the restroom?
Good question. I have no idea.
Food for thought, people. Food for thought. But
and if you're too young and don't know what Cat Dog is, then log off. Don't stop watching.
Scoot, we got any news? It's been a while since we had some news outside of the other shit that's been going on.
It's not so much news involving wrestling, but it's news involving us.
All right, fuck it.
And you know, I want to thank the people out there who's been watching our Becky Lynch and Bianca conversation, because you know it's like 200+ views, and we've been getting engagement out there. So we want to thank all the yous out there, all the yous peoples who've been watching and engaging with us. So you know, we promise to keep the content going and keep it flowing, making sure y'all enjoy yourselves when y'all watch a tag video, you know.
Well, I think I'd rather just go with the concept of we just plan on pissing a lot of people off in the process.
I mean, I didn't want to scare them away with that, but
no, I doubt that. But especially these gluttons for punishment who love WWE content. No, never.
They can either get pissed off or pissed on, as far as I'm concerned. And you know what? I'm not R. Kelly, so.
Hey, bars.
There we go. So NXT, I finally realized what the feeling it was watching NXT. So I think, and maybe you guys can relate. But you ever watched? Let's take an anime. Let's say we've gone through and watched a full series of Yu Yu Hakusho, right?
Okay.
And you introduce
anime of all time.
That's right.
Actually,
you introduce it to somebody, and but they want you to sit there and they want you to watch it with them. And so you know that your favorite arc is a dark tournament, but you know you have to get from the beginning to the part of the dark tournament. So
okay.
To them, you're like, all right, it's gonna come. And so you're watching it knowing that something good is gonna be on the horizon, but you have to sit through some of the, the fluff. Not saying all of Yu Yu Hakusho is fluff, but there's certain parts where it's like, you're waiting to get to that certain part.
Like Yusuke coming back to life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
correct.
Yusuke coming back to life, him becoming the spirit detective, the first missions.
You know what? The random tournament's good though. So, or the Genkai tournament, I should say, not the Rando tournament.
I would say you got the Genkai tournament, you got Rando, you got them going into the castle, which I forgot the name of the castle. You got all of that.
You can just call it the Four Saint Beasts arc, but yeah,
the Four Saint Beasts. Thank you. So when they speak about that tournament,
it's my number 2 for a reason. Go ahead.
Yeah. So the main thing is you have to kind of sit through that to get to that good part. And I as I watch NXT this week, I'm watching it thinking like, okay, well, something's on the horizon. I don't know if it's good, I don't know if it's bad, but I know what I'm watching now is leading up to something that, may not be conducive to anything that's going on right now. So it's hard for me to stay focused on what I'm watching because I know these changes are coming. And that's how I end up viewing it, because it takes me out of it, because I still have that glaring feeling like, does any of this matter? And as much as I want to care about what's going on in the ring, what's going on the show, I can't take my mind off of what's on the horizon.
Yes. It's kind of like what we're saying. It's that looming cloud, because we know what Vince and company wants to do with the show, but we know what Trips and Sean and Road Dogg want to do with the show. But then it's like Vince will supersede what Trips and all them wants. But then you might have the possible hope of USA being like, nah, fam, we're gonna do this. But it is one of those things where that looming cloud is still there, because even watching this Wednesday's episode, I was sitting back like, what's going on here? How is this about to look? But fortunately enough, whatever changes they wanted to implement, you can start to see it, but it wasn't all the way there yet.
Yeah, and I know it's like it's it was peppered in here and there, but I know it's been like that throughout the past few weeks. How they've taken the guys in the breakout tournament and they're starting to get them, introduced and involved more with some of the current stars, which I like. I do like that aspect of it. And they still got some of the same things going on, but there are some parts that do honestly feel main roster ish. And we'll get into it when we get there as well. But yeah, the show itself wasn't bad, but again, with my mind not being solely on like what the show is and more focused on the future, still being taken out of it. And part of that also, and I think it's the same thing that happened with AEW as well, is because of the stuff we had happened last week and just the high we got from certain things, that being that, and then, not SummerSlam for sure, but, TakeOver 36. We, I'm still focused more on that and then what's coming next rather than what's happening right now.
Yeah.
So that's the crazy part. So I'm hopefully next week, we'll start to feel somewhat different because I think we're still so connected to what happened over the weekend, over the course of the weekend, that it's hard to disconnect from that right now. But yeah, so with that, we started off. Well, no, that was the first match, but that's not what we started off on because what we started off on was Grimes and Ted DiBiase, and I don't know how I feel about all of this because I'm gonna go ahead and rope in everything, even the segment where they ended off at.
Okay.
Because it seems like they're eliminating the $1 Million Championship as if this wasn't like a big thing like for them to work towards. It's like he got to that point and now it seems like they're just doing away with it and not moving forward and running with it to do new things with it.
Definitely like kind of forgetting that they've fought over this for like a couple of months.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like they're trying to say that this is a Legends honorary bestowing onto somebody. But like the fact that he gave Grimesy the replica belt instead of the actual belt, even though, hey, Grimes did give him the belt back. It's still like, hey, like why were we fighting for all this if it's all going to be just for a replica belt at the end of the day?
Yeah. And that's why I'm thinking that I wish they would have had him defend it, at least once or twice, and then maybe come to the realization, like, you know what, I realize after all this that this is your legacy and this belongs to you, and I need to go and make my own. I would be cool with that, but for him to just win it like that and just be done with it, it's like, did it honestly mean that much?
Right.
But
my question is, how much of this ties into the whole end of this NXT era? You're like, is the reason that they're kind of cutting this short because they're doing other things with NXT right now?
That's a good point. I didn't even think about that.
I kind of had that slight thought, but because it was like, okay, they have the World Championship, the North American, and then do we have the $1 Million Championship as a third title, or do we treat it as a FTW like situation, or do we just go ahead and cut our losses and get rid of it now so that way it won't be bogged down by anybody?
I can see that. I mean, I personally would have went with, it being treated as a gimmick title, kind of like the FTW, because at least it gives Grimes something to do while everybody else, again, is going after other titles, because we already know nobody's taking the North American Championship off of Swerve anytime soon. Joe just got the NXT Championship. And, you got Kushida with the cruiserweight, but that's already spoken for with Roderick Strong.
Oh, yeah, cruiserweight. I forgot about cruiserweight. So, yeah, so there was like, do we have 4 men's titles or do we just cut our losses now?
Yeah.
Same with
5 if you want to count the tag team, or do we just cut the losses now and just be like, hey? And then too, I guess it was a perfect way to send off Ted.
Yeah.
And so now I guess is, do Grimes keep the moniker of the $1 Million Man, or is he just back to just Cameron Grimes, millionaire? So
that
much we gotta wait for next week, I guess.
Yeah.
But either way, that's one of the reasons why that kind of just it rubbed me the wrong way, because I felt like everything we watched, everything we were investing in is like kind of just for nothing. And
it kind of was.
So now I'm more respective of LA Knight, because he did amazing with it. So shout out to LaKnight. But we do get our first match in the form of Thatcher versus Ridge Holland. Not mad at it, but
can I just give one love of appreciation?
Hell yeah.
I can truly appreciate when guys are just willing to go out there and beat the hell out of each other, even if it's on free TV.
Absolutely.
Even if it's on free TV. I love it. I love it when two guys can look at each other and be like, yo, you want to do this?
Let's go have a match.
Hey, Toothless Timmy was fired up.
Toothless Timmy was fired up.
And I don't know, maybe it's the fact that he probably sat backstage at TakeOver 36 and watched Ilya Dragunov and Volta go at it. He was like, I want me a piece, so let me get some of that on NXT TV.
Mm-hmm.
I would hope that's the case. But I didn't expect this match to be as good as it was, because I expected probably Holland to come in there and then just, rough shot Thatcher after a few submissions and try this and this, and then just overwhelm him and then have it break out. Well, I mean, the ending of it went the way I thought it was going to go. But yeah, the match itself, very surprising, very satisfied. Don't know where the fuck this is going to go. But I will say this.
We do know, to an extent, where is it going to go. I mean, all four are reunited, and it feels so good. So, for those who didn't know, Danny Burch is back. So, Lorcan, Burch, Holland, and Dunn. And, to go ahead and keep tying it in, they had the promo. Dunn was like, I want that title, fam. Stop ducking me, Joe. Burch and Lorcan was like, we never lost those titles fair and square. Give us our belts back. And Holland was just like, I just want to fuck some people up. So now all they need is an official name.
Yeah. And this is what I'm glad that they answered the questions that we had, I think, a week or two ago, where we were going to say, okay, well, who's the person that's supposed to be the leader? Because when Holland came in, he made it almost seem like he was going to take the reins. But of course, Scoot, you had stated that, Dunn was probably going to be the one that led. And this makes perfect sense, because it's the traditional stable booking. You got your tag team, you got your leader, and then you got your heavy. And this is perfect. And with the promo, it made so much more sense for Holland to come in and just say, what the fuck ever. I just want to fuck people up. And with that, I mean, I'm paraphrasing, of course, but with him saying that, and then with him showing that before the promo even happened, him just coming in, taking out Thatcher, coming in and taking out O'Reilly, I'm fine with this. And the way that his the aesthetics of his character is, it makes sense. He looks like that British brawler. So, yeah, give me this all day. I wouldn't even care if they decided to still go with the name Kings of NXT.
Right.
But yeah, I want all of this. I'm glad. I love the aesthetic of this whole group. I'm glad the way that it was put together. even outside of the whole Pat McAfee stuff. Because I don't know if this was the plan in the beginning, and Pat McAfee was just going to be a mouthpiece. But I'm glad what happened, and now we finally got the full stable by themselves.
Oh, yeah, shouts out to Pat McAfee. Hopefully you get better, guy. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully you recover from COVID ASAP.
Oh, yes, COVID. I didn't know that.
No, fuck that guy. No, I'm kidding, man. I hope you get better.
Yeah, he reported that he caught COVID, and he said he was fully vaccinated, everything, still caught COVID, and he was like, maybe this is somebody's telling me things that maybe I suck on commentary, but hey, hope to get better soon and be back. You know what I'm saying? Because Michael Cole needs you, McAfee.
Who said he sucks on commentary?
There has been, I ain't gonna say a lot of people, but there was a few people of divide of McAfee's commentary, and it was like, obviously y'all ain't paying attention. Like,
I heard they need commentators for the XFL. If anything, I mean,
his commentary is refreshing because it's not of the norm.
Like I said, he's saving Michael Cole.
Yeah, get better, Pat McAfee.
He is the appropriate Taz to Michael Cole.
Yes.
I think after this, I think that's when we got the Indy and Dexter segment.
I think so.
Oh, yeah.
Where we could potentially be getting an NXT wedding.
Supposedly September 21st or something like that.
September 14th.
14th. Oh,
yeah.
Excuse me, almost 7 days earlier.
I am excited about that wedding personally because September 14th, birthday. So I get a wedding on my birthday. Hey.
Look at this Virgo over here. Anyway.
Hey. I can't say it too loud because the mic might cut out, but hey.
I mean, look, I don't mean to brag, but Punk won the title at Money in the Bank from John Cena and pissed off Vince McMahon on July 17th.
This fucking guy.
My birthday.
This fucking guy. This fucking guy.
You're a Cancer?
To the business, possibly.
I'm just calling it like I see it, man.
I know somebody
you're exactly a month watching me. Like it's odd, but also cool. You know.
I know somebody who's potentially watching is into all of that astrology and everything. And
what's up, Mariah?
You know, I be sitting there confused as shit when she be saying certain stuff. I'll be like, yeah, of course they're Aquarius. I'm fucking nuts. But yeah.
That's such a Sagittarius thing to do. Yeah.
Those damn Geminis. Like,
oh, you know they're bipolar, right? Like,
not those damn Geminis, man. We don't deal with them damn Geminis.
You know, so I just be sitting back like, yeah, of course.
Shitting on my mama. Anyways.
But yeah, so just like Scoot said, that wedding is happening on his birthday. I don't know how I feel about this because this is where things started to feel main roster-esque.
It did.
Oh, I'll tell you exactly where it felt main roster-esque, but that's a little bit later.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's probably we probably had the same thought because I thought about that as well. If that's what we're talking about, but another positive that happened was the women's tag match: Caden Carter and Casey Catanzaro versus Gigi Dolan and JC Jane.
Yeah, that felt NXT-ish.
The right women went over. and they finally started talking about the NXT Women's Tag Titles, which right now they should either be the tag team champions or it still should be Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
it can't be the way since Candice is about to have baby wrestling.
Correct.
But I will say this: I am ecstatic that the right team won. Because the moment I saw that they was going against Dolan and Jane, I was kind of like, shit. Like, they about to bury the team who's been the actual team. But luckily they didn't. And I do want to shout out this. I don't know if I've been sleeping on it or I just haven't been paying attention. But
that's usually me nowadays.
Caden Carter, though.
Yo, Caden Carter.
Caden Carter, though.
No, I mean, if you ain't saying it yet, then you might have been sleeping on it now.
I think I've been secretly thinking on it, but it was like something about Tuesday. It was like Caden, though.
I think you like them green contacts, man.
I don't know.
Honestly, it's the hair for me. I don't know.
I don't know, but Caden Carter, though.
Yeah, these are the unofficial official tag team champions in my book, because the tag team champions that we have right now in the women's division, again, not on TV. Why they have the titles?
Oh yeah, they absolutely were not on TV this week.
Mm-hmm.
And
I don't understand why they have the belts.
No in-ring action since they won them. They had one segment last week, which was like 30 seconds at best.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, Casey and Caden said it right. It's like, where's our title shot? We haven't sniffed the tag titles yet, and we've been racking up wins. So what's up? And they better not screw them over.
Right? I said, right, they better not screw them over, because I'm gonna be mad as hell is if they get that title shot and then they lose to EO and Zoe. I'm gonna be like, all right, then what's the point here?
Exactly. And my thing now they did do something right by Gigi Dolan and JC Jane as well, because even in defeat, it set up more of the story with Mandy Rose. So I like that.
But they're making Mandy Rose seem like something that that main roster did not book her to be.
Well, here's the good thing about it, though. The good thing about it, though, is that because of the fact that we've always seen people from NXT go to main roster and then become trash, but then people that go back from the main roster to NXT are built up like fucking superstars. So,
I
love that parallel, because it shows that NXT actually creates stars. They're the ones that actually turn chicken shit into chicken salad. So,
as long as you don't put raisins in it, though. What the fuck is that about?
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that is.
Anyways, sorry to get off topic.
Hey man, it's what we do here. It's what we do here. But yeah. So to me, the way I'm looking at it, the women's division is always going to be fine on NXT. It's the men's side that I'm more so worried about, because
that's fair.
Because you Vince never has any issue with the way women are booked. As long as they're hot in his book, I guess. I don't know. But I think he's more so worried about how the men look, which is why he wants taller men, more muscular men.
I mean, if you look at the matches all of tonight, they all featured men that he's fond of as far as body types and looks. Because I mean, you're talking about Ridge Holland. We're talking about Zion Quinn when we get there. We're talking about Odyssey Jones. We're talking about Duke Hudson with the segment that happened. So, I mean, it was full of his type of menses that he preferences in his company.
Yeah, and I agree. But I'm glad you said that, Scoop, because here's what I want to happen. If in fact they're going to run with this whole Vince vision, if that's going to be a coin phrase or thing.
Oh God, I hope not.
I would hope that Trips, Regal, BJ James, Shawn Michaels, I hope that all of them take this and say, you know what? Okay, we'll feature the big guys, but we'll also feature the guys of a stature that you may not like in the main event. So, which I also think that was a.
And then too, and let's also face it here. The beauty of it is, unlike with fucking Raw, you have 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have 2 hours. So every match necessarily doesn't have to be your style of guy you want to see. You know what I'm saying? Like you said with the main event, or you have 2 hours. So in roughly 2 hours, you can do what? 7 to 8 matches? So 2 of them can feature the small guys you don't want to see, or the guys who are in their 30s that you don't want to see. Like, relax.
Yeah, I mean it's exactly how the Monday Night Wars was when Nitro would open up with cruiserweights, and then WWF at the time decided to implement the light heavyweight division to try to compete with that, but then failed at it. But that's only because, again, they didn't believe in the smaller guys. So it's like you can't try to implement something that you don't believe in. It's going to be trash regardless.
It's going to be trash. And not only it's going to be trash, but then it's going to look like y'all just copied.
Ooh.
Yeah. Gilbert.
Gilbert.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Anyway. But continuing on with the women, we get Kaylie Ray's debut, which was overshadowed by Valentino.
She was very animated.
Yeah.
She is.
Thank you, Scoop. Thank you.
She's very animated.
Valentino Rossi, right? No.
I think it was like I think it's for us. I think it's the way that it's pronounced. I think it may be for Ozzy the way that they said it, but I don't know. I can't remember. I was taken because here's the thing: the first when they came back from commercial break, the first thing I saw was her in the ring. It was so much at one time, and I didn't get a chance to kind of just come down from it. Yeah,
she stood out.
I don't know if it's a positive or negative. It was just a lot. That's somebody who you look at and say, yeah, they're on 10. Because she wrestled like she was too, because especially in the beginning when she was like rolling around and then like didn't stop, I was like, all right. So this is what we're doing right now. Cool.
I mean, if you want to go full Ty Dillinger, just by all means.
She was gonna take her shot, and if this was the only time she was gonna be on TV, it was gonna be memorable.
Fair enough. I'm not mad at it. I'm just taken aback by it. Mm-hmm. But this match did go longer than I expected it to. I thought it was going to be a quick squash match, but they maybe they called an audible and was like, you know what, her energy is up there. Just give her some more time. So
Ashley had asked me an interesting question,
mm-hmm.
and she was like, what's the difference between AEW squash matches compared to like NXT or WWE's? And Jaeger, you can kind of help me a little bit more since you actively watch Dynamite and
sure.
not Dynamite, Dark and
but
Elevation.
more Dark and Elevation, yeah.
I said in this case, Kaylie Ray was having this squash match because it's who she is, but people might not know of her like that because they probably didn't watch NXT UK. Mm-hmm. I said the problem is in AEW's case, sometimes you would get people like Jon Moxley going against people that's like, fam, we know who's gonna win this match. Or
I mean, let's put it like this. You have, was it Valentina Rossi against Kaylie Ray? Again, like you just said, people are not gonna really. I mean, shit. If you don't pay attention enough, you might confuse Kaylie Ray as a rebranding of Kylie Ray and be like, "Oh, I might know who this is." And then against Valentina Rossi, they'll be like, "Oh, that could be like WWE's homegrown or something."
Yeah.
But like you just said, when you get Jon Moxley versus Chandler Hopkins,
exactly, like
come on now. I mean, Chandler Hopkins is a Texas local for the independent circuit, but if you're watching Elevation in Wisconsin, you're not going to know that. All you're going to think is, "Oh, hey, here's a quick job out."
Exactly. So that's why I was telling her. I was like, the point is, Dynamite. I don't want to say Dynamite. Well, I guess Dynamite.
Elevation and Dark
make it. They did have a clear squash match, but we'll talk about on the next episode.
That's true. Elevation and Dark make it more transparent, I guess.
Yeah, they make it more transparent because it's like, hey, if you're starting to see talent that you know who has a name versus talent that is like unsigned and maybe you might never heard of, most likely that person is not going to win. Because what their most famous, in a sense, jobber, which I hate using that word, but it's been what Kiera Hogan.
A spade in those
True.
Yeah.
What Kiera Hogan has probably been their most
famous. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kiera Hogan was probably their most famous jobber, if we're going to call her that.
I do want to give a shout out to the people of Raw because I'm starting to see a lot of Raw talent popping up on AEW to be jobbers, of course, unfortunately. But, shout out to Booker T and Raw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good point. Good point.
Yeah, I think another point on that, as far as like the jobber situation, is the fact that AEW pretty much set the standard of what it's going to be. Like this, like because of the fact that they are pushing, like even the talent, even the green talent that's coming in, they've basically made a benchmark on their end to say, okay, you know what? Even though we have squash matches, these are people still to look out for. Daniel Garcia, Dante Martin.
Yeah.
Hell, even with fucking Ty Conti, Red Velvet was one at one point. Hobbs was one at one point.
Yep.
So they say this is who to look out for. NXT does that as well, but they do it in a different way. The tournaments, for one.
Yes.
Just how they're doing now. They're taking these guys and they're making the tournaments feel bigger, but they're also now evolving with the tournaments and using these guys in segments now. So now you see them. Oh, matter of fact, Zoe Stark was one. And then because she was a surprise, and then the other girl, the one that beat Toni Storm surprisingly, Zeta Ramir.
Yeah.
So yeah, they throw pieces in there.
Technically, we had one later on tonight when we talk about another match.
True. Which I don't know what's going on with TN Shot, but it is what it is. But,
what the fuck though?
We'll get there. Save
all right.
So let me ask you gents this. One, how do we feel about Kaylie Ray? Two, do y'all think she's going to be the one to get the title off of Raquel?
I feel fine with her being there. I think it's going to be refreshing for her to be there because they're getting rid of a lot of the female UK talent. Toni Storm isn't there anymore. Rhea isn't there anymore. Tegan isn't there anymore. So Yeah. So I think that it's necessary for her to be there. I think you can't go wrong with having more talent, because I think at this point, outside of Dakota Kai, Io Shirai, Saray, she might be the next to being the most with the most experience, because everybody else doesn't have as much experience under their belt. And I'm Xing out Candice LeRae because she's gone. And yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, let me backtrack a little bit. Valentina Rossi is an AEW talent. Sorry, not the one that was on NXT earlier. Well, she's a darker elevation talent. But anyways, completely agree. Can't be Candice LeRae. I think if anybody right now, it would have to be Kaylie Ray to beat Raquel. If not, maybe Io if she's sticking around. But I doubt that.
Frankie did stick her nose in and was like,
that is true.
Y'all ain't talking about me in title pictures either.
I mean, so, Frankie, you're like on and off with your wins and losses, so I don't know what to say about that.
At first, I thought it was going to be her when she debuted, but ever since then, it's just been like,
right.
One thing that Raquel did do, she still said this probably isn't over with Dakota, so there leaves hope that Dakota may possibly get some gold. I don't know how true that is because of the fact of the matches on main event, but
she's
a man can hope.
Carry and cross route.
Yeah, which is very sad. Which you know what?
I'm glad you said his name. Karen. I am so sorry that they forced you to wear that outfit, and that's supposed to be your attire on Raw.
What kind of gimp suit is that, man?
They basically took a retired Retribution mask and jazzed it up a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'm so sorry that they making you some type of gladiator. I mean, if this is something you wanted to do, Carrion, that's different. But if this is something that they put you in, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry that you were the most dominant individual in NXT for 2 years, and this is how they got you, my guy. I'm sorry.
Karen, they took away your muse, and I don't even know why. Whether that outfit is your decision or not, why is Scarlett not a part of it?
I don't know.
You had the fans chanting at TakeOver, "We want Scarlett."
Right. Right. The interest didn't even feel the same.
Nah. Well, how can it feel the same when she takes up half of it?
True. True.
There's no. Go ahead.
No, because now, see, this is the reason why we do some of the shit that we do. And now, you know what? We're going to have to do this as well. We're going to have to talk about every single NXT superstar that went to the main roster and was completely just fucked over.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, we're going to do that. But Karrion Kross, what the fuck? What the fuck? I don't understand this concept of taking something that was already cool and trying to rebrand it into something else. It's already set up. It's gift wrapped and handed to you. This is what you have. You take you take him and you get his whole leather jacket aesthetic with the fucking Dodge Challenger, with Scarlett, with his entrance, with his badassery that's going on, and you leave it like that and you let that shit just take off. The work is done for you. It's already established. Why? I don't understand this concept of doing more work. You're gonna undo work to do something else. To just Vince McMahon is he has a fucking ego issue. This is narcissism,
man. He can't be satisfied with Hunter forming these stars into what they are throughout NXT. He has to rebrand them in some kind of way to where it's his idea. And like that hits the nail on the head, like you just said it, and it's just he can't let it be like an already formed idea. He can't let it be like an already complete star. You can't let them just migrate from NXT to WWE. They have to change into some way. Keith Lee can't be shirtless. He has to wear a bodysuit. Fucking Samoa Joe, you know what? I'm going to leave Samoa Joe alone. Finn Balor actually was one of them that was actually left alone. He had the demon thing that he did on and off, and like that was fine. But
now he's not even that cool badass anymore.
Exactly. Like he was the prince, he was a badass, and now what the fuck is he?
It's a Smiley Finn effect. Smiley Finn. That's what we get now. Back to that.
And then look at Shinsuke. He came with so much hype. Like honestly, I'm one of the most bitter stars, or one of the stars that I'm most bitter about seeing them transition from NXT to the main roster is Shinsuke. Because you got to look at what he did in New Japan, and then how much of a treasure he was through NXT. And his highest achievement so far is what? The Intercontinental title?
Twice.
The man should be multi WWE or Universal champion.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, technically he's king without being king. So,
like I just said, he should be multi-universal champion. He should be multi-WWE champion. He should have one of each at least.
I 1000% agree.
The man has been disrespected, what? Because he can't speak fluent English?
But
look, he speaks well enough English.
No,
thank you.
Seeing Shin when he was on Up Down Down with because it was Xavier, Shin, and Asuka. He was holding a conversation with Woods like nothing. He was translating for Asuka some of the time, but he could speak perfect. He could speak well enough English to where if he needs to cut a promo or get his point across, So he got
bullshit foreigner treatment.
So yeah, he doesn't have too much of a language barrier when it comes to, because like I said, him and Woods was having a conversation just like we are. And like I said, he was translating for Asuka every now and then, but Shin can speak English perfect enough.
Justice for the
WWE way.
We're definitely. I'm throwing him on the list for you though, Lip. But yeah.
He was already on there. But you already got it.
I'll remind them then.
But we're definitely doing this. We'll figure out how we're gonna do that, but we're doing it too. So yeah. But Samoa Joe comes out.
Finally, to get back from our tangent.
No. I mean, it's not gonna be a full tangent, but this is another tangent in a way.
All right, yeah, hit it. Anyways.
Yeah. I mean, look, I love the idea of Samoa Joe coming out and being proactive. Like, okay, you know what? I'm not gonna wait around for somebody to come. Make them. I'm gonna call out whoever wants a piece. Cool. And again, continuity. With the whole Pete Dunne thing, we've been staring at each other. We got to hammer this out. You already know what it is, period. And which was fine. But then you start to get the whole main roster situation where it's like one person comes out, somebody's music hits, they come out, another person's music hits, they come out, and they all plead their case. The highlight of this. Well, there was two highlights. One, O'Reilly, bringing back the whole calling him I think he said Samoa Joseph.
He said Samoa Joseph, Peter Dune, and
LaKnight.
So
that works.
Cool, Kyle O'Reilly back at it again with the nicknames. I appreciate it. I'm glad that that's his shtick. It makes sense for him. But Ridge Holland came out and took out Kyle, but then this started off a brawl. But I'm glad this brawl didn't end up with the whole guys that could be vying for the NXT Championship. I'm glad it was intermingling feuds and storylines with, Ciampa coming out and attacking Dunn and having that be a thing. And even with having Ciampa glare at Joe while he held the title up, I was like, all right, cool. So we got that, in the win as well. So yeah.
This is where it kind of felt a little main rostery to me. Even with like the little sub feuds that were going on, it still was Pete Dunne coming out, Kyle O'Reilly coming out. Like it was still.
And plus, we just saw this 3 months ago with Karrion Kross.
Thank you. Like this definitely felt. It had the main roster vibes where all the usual suspects come out that aren't champ are going to go and challenge the champ. But all I can say is that you're going to get a splash of main roster, even though it's not main roster. Hopefully it doesn't start bleeding into it, but only time will tell in that regard.
Yes.
Yeah, well, they said within weeks, we'll get this new feel, which again to this fucking Nick Khan interview, and this is the stupidest fucking answer that he could have given, because Ariel Helwani had asked him, which show do you like better, Raw or SmackDown? And then of course he gave that political answer, they're both good in their own right, everybody's doing X, Y, Z, blah, 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 blah. And then he said, then Ariel Helwani said the glaring question, do you think Raw would be better at just 2 hours? And this idiot, it was a good question, but it was a stupid answer, because this idiot turned around and said, I wish SmackDown was 8 hours. I wish Raw was 12 or 10 hours. Why? The fuck?
Why would you say something as stupid as that when you can't even utilize your talent for fucking 2 hours, 3 hours? You know what? I'm with Scoot. I'd be at full tilt. Like, you can't even use the 6 or 8 tag teams that you have. You can't even use the fucking, was it in total 30 stars that you have on SmackDown or 30 stars that you have on Raw for the full fucking 3 hours throughout a month. Like, if you really want to wish that Raw was 8 hours or 12 hours or whatever the fuck, you better be fucking utilizing your talent rather than putting the same fucking people on every fucking Monday. And I said fuck a lot, and so if you have children watching, I'm sorry. But
they'll be fine. They'll be fine.
Deal with it. Anyways.
Helping the children of the future.
Fam, I will never, ever, ever sit down and watch an 8-hour SmackDown and or a 12-hour Raw. He can SMD. I don't want to say it because there might be children.
No, they can definitely SMD.
They can SMD with that answer. SMD, my guy.
I don't want to catch that creative bankruptcy. It might be
creative HIV. I get you.
Thank you. There we go.
I
was trying to figure out, a way to say it.
Creative syphilis.
Yeah. Goddamn right. We don't want any of that. But
no, fuck it. Suck my dick with that response. What? Okay, first you're telling me you can't decide on which show you like better between Raw or SmackDown. That's fine. I can see if you don't want to quote unquote play favorites. But then to give a dumb answer like that, all right, fam. I hope he tripped and fell on his way out that interview.
No, I couldn't even. I couldn't even finish the last 5 minutes of it because I was just like, you know what? There's nothing else for me to even watch.
How long was this interview?
I think it was like 25 minutes.
Okay.
And you watched 20 minutes of it?
Yes, I did.
Okay, wait, no. So let me ask you a question, right? Mm-hmm. So knowing the stuff we know now, right? Going into this interview, what were your initial thoughts of the guy?
It's a reason why he's on the payroll because he knows how to answer these fucking questions. But he's also a dick, and I don't like him because of how he answered these fucking questions. So
Bruh can fuck all the way off. Sorry to cut off your weird.
This is before the interview. So you said you watched basically 20 minutes of it. Mm-hmm. What was your takeaway from the interview?
Oh, my bad. Before the interview, it was me trying to get an understanding of one, where things were going to go with NXT, and then what they were going to say about as far as like competition and stuff like that. And so that was going in, just more of the curiosity and the intrigue of what could be going on, or why is this guy, because I wanted to get some type of understanding, like maybe I could be wrong about this guy. But no, I'm not. I think I ended up disliking him even more now after watching that, because of how political he was with his answers, and then two, just how not really giving a shit about like the wrestling fans themselves his answers came off as. Because the way he came off with it was like, hey, if you like it, cool. If you don't, fuck you. So, because I think everyone had asked him about like how the internet is and how he gets blamed for a lot of stuff, and he says, he doesn't, only opinions that he cares about are the ones of his family and whatever. So to me, that was like an FU to the fans, because it's like you should want to make a good product. The criticism should, you should want to make the best product for the ones who actually tune in and spend their money on this. And yeah, I'm just.
You know what, Nick Khan, you can eat a bag of dicks. like a whole ass bag, man. Like, I'm not talking about like the bags they give you when you go to like a Mexican restaurant and they give you like a bag of chips. No, I mean like double that. Like just a big ass bag of dicks.
So basically a sack of dicks.
You can eat a salty, wet sack of dicks, Nick Khan.
Put that on a shirt.
You know what? That being said, he should do like what what's his name? Suicide Squad. John Cena's character.
Oh,
Peacemaker. When he was talking
dude
about
said he would eat a beach. Yep. Dude said he would eat a whole beach of dicks.
There you go.
I don't know where you'd find a beach of dicks, but hey.
I hear nudist beaches work that way. I don't know.
No, those dicks are attached to people. But
he can get to munching all the same.
Well, that'll give a new meaning to SMD. But
SMD.
But yeah, we get from there, and we continue on with the finals of the breakout tournament. Yeah, clearly everybody was fucking wrong, because I thought Duke Hudson was going to win. Then
devastating finisher in wrestling history.
Surprise roll up.
Yeah.
So basically, looking at this from now to the beginning of the tournament, this whole thing was like catered to Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah,
apparently,
right? Like, honestly, like you said, if I was a betting man, Duke Hudson, I would have been like, son of a bitch, I lost.
Yeah,
I would have been looking like Baron Corbin pre-Vegas.
I would have been like right there at the finish line, but yeah, I would have been on Odyssey Jones's side here.
Yeah,
but at the same time, upon looking at this tournament too, he doesn't need it.
He really doesn't.
He doesn't.
Odyssey does not need it. That man is destined to be a star as long as as long as Odyssey isn't one of those guys who might suffer like crazy injuries or things like that, he's destined to be a star. Like,
yeah,
he has it. Like, he had the charisma, he had the fan support. Actually, both of them had the fan support, which was even surprising to me. But Odyssey, he definitely can be a problem if he's booked right. And like I said, if he's not one of them people who's known to have crazy injuries, Odyssey can be something.
And I love his entrance theme as well.
Yes.
It's just it's hyped up, and it's just one of those things where it's like, all right, well, if we're gonna have a show every week, this is gonna be the person that everybody wakes up to. It's like, all right, cool. I know we about to just get into something now. And then see that to me is one of the reasons why some people don't understand like how integral entrance music is.
Mm-hmm.
So, thank you, NXT. WWE, I still don't know what the fuck y'all are doing with some of y'all shit, but NXT is getting it back with the way that they used to be with their theme music. So, shout out to whoever's doing it right now. I forgot who's doing it now. I'll figure that shit out. I'll remind myself. But, yeah, Carmelo Hayes won. But to me, out of this whole tournament, he's the one that I even stated was the one that I already felt was like more so put together. Like he didn't need the tournament, and he already had a nice introduction with Cole, with Kushida. So you know he was perfectly fine.
Here's the I don't want to say $1 million question, but here's the $1 million question: who does he challenge?
Swerve.
Because he gets a title shot.
I see it being Swerve.
Because there's, I mean, granted, he could probably pull a Jordan Miles and try to challenge Cole, but you know, seeing Carmelo Hayes go against Samoa Joe,
Cole?
Jordan Miles picked Cole.
Yeah.
Oh, Jordan Miles. I thought you were talking about Carmelo Hayes. I was like, that doesn't line up anymore.
Yeah, I think the better match would be with Swerve because I think it would benefit Hayes as well as Swerve. I don't think Hayes would win unless
does he win though?
Yeah, unless if it's booked in advance, like way later, then yeah, I can understand that. Then there may be a chance for him to win if he holds on to it for a little bit. But if this is something that's immediate, no, they're just feeding him to Swerve, but to make him look better. If he if he picks Joe. There's a chance that they can make that look right and benefit Hayes, but I honestly don't see it because of all the other competitors that Joe has right now. And Swerve doesn't really have that many challengers at the moment. Correct. So what better way after Santos to just go ahead and have Carmelo Hayes have a barn burner of a match. Yeah. Because Swerve can have a great fucking match with people.
Yes.
It's what he does. So yeah, but from talking about good matches and shit that can actually happen and be beneficial for the show, the fuck was this?
So what I realized upon doing my research into Zion Quinn was that rugby player that they got on the roster 3 years ago?
What?
Daniel Vidat. If I'm saying it wrong, please don't come after me. But yes, that's the rugby player that they got from Australia. And once again, if I'm wrong, please don't. But he's been on the roster for some years now, and I guess they finally pulling the trigger on him.
So let's recap this.
Let's recap it.
Zion Quinn is a former rugby player that or I should say NXT drafted 3 years ago.
Something like that. Like I think he's been on the roster for a minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's got some tenure.
Yes, he is Australian.
He's got some Australian tenure.
Yes.
And then Boa, on the other hand, has recently had a character development push of sorts.
Yes.
Of sorts.
Of sorts, because, well, I mean, his only other match, he kind of lost it. But he's had this character development nonetheless. But the thing that's annoying as hell here is that rather than push the person that's healthy of T.N. Shaw, not T.N. Shaw.
No, that's right.
Oh, no, I am right. I'm thinking of Mei Ying. But, yeah, T.N. Shaw being the stable here, the only healthy of the actual two participants, you decide to kind of bury? Rather than, give him a push, because, he's healthy, he can wrestle, he's gone through the torture just like Xia Li. What is going on here?
Okay, well, hold on. Let me before we answer that question.
Okay.
He was signed in May of 2018.
Okay.
April 24th, 2020, he made his debut on SmackDown, losing to Sheamus.
Okay.
October 2020, that's when he became Zion Quinn.
Lost to the Pale Horse, and now you got to change your name.
July 16th, 2021, him and Odyssey Jones teamed up against Austin Theory and Davey Boy Smith Jr. in a dark match. Back in March, when Davey Boy Smith was getting back into the company, which where is he, by the way? But that's a different subject. And
sounds like a pirate kid.
And this is his official NXT debut yesterday as
Zion Quinn's NXT debut.
Zion Quinn,
was against Boa.
That's his official NXT debut as Zion Quinn without being in a dark match.
This was the opposite of a squash. This was the opposite of a squash match.
Well, I will say if they held on to him for the last 3 years, they see something in him, apparently. I don't know if they see a superstar, but obviously they see something in him if he survived 3 years.
3 years
of cuts and things. So obviously they want him around for a reason.
Yeah. That has to be the case, because now I'm just gonna take it and say, you know what, maybe he was very green, and so they just decided to say, we're gonna train you up, we're invested in you, and then go from there. So
6 foot, 200 plus pounds, rugby player. If he doesn't work out for the WWE, he can work out for the XFL.
He is
got it.
6'2", 246.
See. Now, if he fails as a wrestler, he can work for the XFL.
And funny, he debuted at 31.
Huh.
Well, he's too old. Time to cut him.
But they hired him when he was 29. Oh no, sorry, 28. If I'm doing my math right.
Made just 28. The cut. He's grandfathered in, is what I understand.
That makes more sense. So, look, he won.
Yes.
So, and
I don't know why he won, but he won.
Because I tell you, they're trying to now build the new wave of superstars.
6 foot plus, 200 pound plus.
Obviously, they're going to quote unquote pull the proverbial trigger on Zion Quinn.
They can pull the trigger on these nuts, but anyways, why build up Boa and Xia Li and then just shit on Boa and the not here Xia Li? It doesn't make sense.
That was my thing, is that why isn't Boa getting that same treatment if they went through that same training?
Thank you.
Because especially if Xia Li got hurt, this would be the perfect opportunity. Because that's how that shit normally works. If someone's getting a push, then and they don't get it, it's like in TNA when MVP was there and he was supposed to get the TNA championship and Bobby Lashley was his heavy. he got hurt. Bobby Lashley got the push, and then he got the title, and then MVP became the mouthpiece for Bobby Lashley at that time. So why then don't you just give that same treatment to Boa since he is there? And you know, you had him go against Drake Maverick. Why? And then this shit. So
you know what? Why not even just have Xia Li be there again, like you just said, as a mouthpiece in the same fashion that Britt Baker was on every week, despite being injured. Not to cross brand shows here, but yeah.
I don't know if you notice, when one member of a stable or a tag team gets injured, they're all injured.
They are
in WWE.
That is WWE's thing for some reason.
New Day escaped it. The Usos escaped it. And more recently, Undisputed Era escaped it. Other than that, you're both injured.
but Undisputed Era was developmental though, so
that is also true too. I keep forgetting they're developmental. But don't forget when one member of the Revival were hurt, both members were hurt. One member of Heavy Machinery, they're both hurt. One member of Authors of Pain, they're both hurt. So don't forget that.
Heavy Machinery got the other treatment where it's the far other side where it's like, all right, one person gets a push because they get popular, and the other one just completely dies or becomes non-existent.
Yeah.
So yeah, but look.
Although I will say that's kind of what they're doing with Dante Martin in AEW.
Well, I think his brother's still hurt, isn't he?
AEW know how to.
No, his brother's come out at least once or twice.
Well, it's because AEW doesn't hinge on the fact that if one tag member is injured, both of them are out.
They don't
hinge on that,
And plus, they're young enough to where even if one of them got hurt, it's not going to affect their overall tag team because they got years.
Years.
I mean, Dante Martin is only 20, I think.
So years.
Yeah. But from that odd shit, we get to one hell of a main event.
Yeah.
I'm so mad that this was not on TakeOver.
You know what? This should have been on TakeOver. And not only should it have been on TakeOver, but this should have been a 6-man just free-for-all. They should have falls count anywhere. No, it should have been a 6-man street fight.
Because everybody was showcased.
Yes.
You don't get that in a lot of 6-man tags. I mean, you do get that in AEW in certain cases, but for the most part, this was produced so well because of how everybody was showcased individually and then as a group. Top Dollar got his strength off.
He got all the shine, yeah.
Ashanti the Adonis pretty much got the Seth Rollins Shield versus Wyatt Shield versus Evolution treatment. And then, of course, Swerve. And then B-Fab with her interference. Like that. I am so mad. I mean, I'm happy that it main evented. I'm happy that it main evented NXT, but I'm still mad that this wasn't given the pay-per-view treatment on a pay-per-view. Because this whole thing just could have been but it's not over. This whole thing is not over.
No, it's not.
It's gained more layers because B-Fab being B-Fab came in, gave the interference, threw push Santos into the turn post, which so I'm sick of everybody using that same moveset where it's like somebody goes on the apron and they go for the kick and then the leg gets grabbed and then they fling them to the apron. Swerve is probably the only one that made that refreshing for me to watch because the way he sold it. But I think I've seen that whole setup at least maybe like 10 times in the past maybe like week and a half on across various shows. But yeah, apparently Santos got pissed off about B-Fab interfering in their shit because we got a potential new member of Legado del Fantasma.
Oh no, it's official.
No, it's official.
Okay, well we got an official new member of the lady variety in Legado del Fantasma. Elektra Lopez.
No.
Elektra Lopez, though.
The only gripe I have.
Uh-oh.
And this is on B-Fab because I felt like come on. Elektra Lopez pulled that pipe out.
Yeah. There's
a joke somewhere in there, people.
Oh, it ain't somewhere. It's pretty up in your face. But
whoa.
Oh my God.
Good D.
Sorry.
But yeah, she pulled that pipe out. And B-Fab had so much time to kind of see that swing to where she could dodge. But she still sold it. So I'm like, all right, cool. But at the same time, like, look, I know that we all could have dodged that in a good amount of time. But either way, it was effective. Then the whole
tossing. Are we saying that you know what? I just saw an opening here where I could have taken it. So are we saying that B-Fab just ain't one to dodge the pipe?
I think ladies and gentlemen, this is Jaeger throwing out feelers to B-Fab. It's a nice little questionnaire he wants her to answer. Is she one to dodge the pipe?
B-Fab, if you want to dodge the pipe, or if you don't want to dodge the pipe, you're more than welcome to answer at Jaeger Bombastic at IG or Twitter or any of the other social media platforms that you find necessary. So moving on.
Gentlemen, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Wayne Gretzky. Anyways.
But this was the part of the match. This is the only part of the match I didn't like.
What, the B-Fab part? Or
I was going to say the non-pipe dodging?
No. She throws the pipe to Swerve. The ref clearly sees all this. And the ref was acting like Swerve was about to use it. And he's like, fam, she just gave this to me. I'm trying to give this to you because I don't know where the fuck. And the ref was all like, and it was like, yeah. He's trying to give you the foreign object that was just thrown to him by somebody who's clearly not on his side.
Yeah.
Then, of course, Swerve loses to the most devastating finisher in wrestling history.
Which makes no sense for the continuity of this story.
Yeah, we can't be getting these damn roll-ups like on multiple roll-ups in one show. You gotta stop that. This is where the roll-up made sense. I think Santos could have easily, done a finisher and then got it done because of the surprise. So that's fine. Carmelo Hayes makes sense with the roll-up.
I would have preferred Santos hit the Phantom Driver, but
yeah,
it's fine.
So
it was okay.
But this match in itself was this shit.
Damn good main event.
This is what I want out of NXT. I want this shit. So I hope that this is still the direction that they're taking this with, added implementations here and there, but nothing that changes the show overall to where it's unrecognizable. So yeah. Don't fuck with our NXT with Vince Vision. None of that.
Let's hope.
Unless your name is B-Fab with a pipe. Anyways.
That was NXT in a nutshell. Do you guys have any final thoughts on what we experienced watching this week's NXT?
No.
Other than what happened on the show, I'm glad that it wasn't a drastic change. I can see the sprinkles of Vince Vision, as Mr. Dizzle so lovely called it, but it was still NXT. It was still NXT, so I'm happy.
True that. Yeah, I got nothing much to say outside of the same sentiment that I had earlier. But I will add this. Jessica Mea, though.
I think it was because you saw her do the little TikTok dance.
I did not.
Oh.
But thank you for informing me and the people watching this.
She
Jaeger
did
says
that
you're welcome.
Anyways, how does that song go? You know what? I'm not gonna say it because it kind of just is. It's very explicit, and I feel like I've hit my explicit mark for an episode.
You are a grown man, sir.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, fine. Camel toe fat. You can see it from the back. Anyways.
Okay, maybe you shouldn't have said it.
It's the lyrics. You can look them up. I am not saying anything original. Anyways.
I mean, look. Hey, it is what it is. Never let the world put a quota on your free speech, sir.
It is in fact what it is.
We are not a publicly traded company here.
No.
Look, I don't have to answer to shit until we get some sponsors, and even then I might have some gripes.
Damn straight. But matter of fact, since we're on the topic of sponsors, Scoot, let the sponsors know where they can find you at.
Since we happen to glaringly gloss over this, I didn't forget, by the way, sir. But of course, you can find me in the Diamond Mine.
Oh. Are we?
Okay, wait. Quick question. Was it me, or was I the only one thinking one of them dudes was going to crash into Bivens? All I'm saying. The whole time I was watching that segment, I was like, somebody going to mess around there and stumble. They're going to crash right into Bivens. That's going to be the funniest shit.
It would have been hilarious.
I digress. Of course, you can find me in the Diamond Mines. We always recruiting down there. We always finding new talent.
Kind of gotta find the diamond mines first.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You gotta find these diamonds. You gotta mine for the diamonds.
It's hard to find diamonds when there's nothing but coal. But it is what it is.
I mean, diamonds form under pressure, but
Exactly.
I'll help you out a little.
Diamond mines and my recruiting tactics, of course, are on IG, Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok. That's where I'm trying to find these diamonds. But when I'm outside the diamond mine, you can catch me with the Less Than Stealthy Ninjas, all one big word. We're on those same platforms. We're also on Anchor, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and other podcast markets. We usually stream on the weekends, Fridays, Saturdays, sometimes Sundays, but mainly Fridays and Saturdays. Ninja Wins Podcast on, like I said, Google, Spotify, Anchor, other podcast formats.
Yeah.
But you can find me in those mines, finding these diamonds. We likes to shine. But besides me,
I'm a coal miner, but
See, this is why we have haters. See, this is why we have haters, guys. This is the reason why haters exist in this world. Because when you can prove a hater wrong, it just feels so much better. But like I was about to segue, sir, other than the diamonds I'm mining for, the diamond that shines bright below me.
Loki agrees.
See,
Loki would be in agreement, apparently.
Diamond that shines bright below me, aka the heartthrob. Let them know that's find you.
Honestly, I feel like that's just a play on my skin color, but that's cool, man. But if your name happens to be BFAB, or Gigi Dolan after we found out you're recently single. Or you know what? If you miss me and my love for you, if your name happens to be Shotzi Blackheart, I mean, as I mentioned earlier, you can find me at Jaeger Bombastic. It just went by, but it's right here below the name. Find me at the IGs. Find me at the TikToks. There it goes over there. Bam, right there. Anyways, TikToks, IGs. If you want a game with me, Xbox, PlayStation, I'm here. I'm messageable. I'm versatile. I'm apparent. If you're Loki, then I'm barkable. I don't know what that even means, but
coin that phrase.
Barkable. Anyways, but if you're just not happy with things that are with the forecast of NXT, and you just need a little pick me up for the dark days that may or may not be coming, and you just need a ray of sunshine in your life, I can really only direct you to like one direction, and I don't mean a boy band.
Yeah, you know, lifestyle 1UP. Get that positivity in your life. All your podcast listening platforms. Check it on the IGs, the Twitters, the TikTok, YouTube, all that good shit over and over and over and over and over to make sure that you don't have an excuse to miss out on a daily dose of positivity. But
there you go.
If you want to shoot the shits,
all the shits,
or if you still are mad that the Crown Prince is still on top, because see,
whoa, hold on a second.
I didn't lose. Hold
on a second.
You did not lose, right?
You're right.
Don't forget,
didn't y'all two tie?
Technically tied with Jaeger, and you're technically tied with me.
What happens in the form of a draw in professional wrestling? You know, does the champ lose? Does the champ lose?
You're right.
Exactly.
But at the same time, does the champ win?
Yeah, but see, here's the thing. I still have this. See, the thing is.
But you see, here's the thing. You said you made your predictions, and then the Crown made their own.
Correct.
So is the Crown not a single entity then, instead of something that is bestowed upon somebody?
Oh, this was bestowed upon me, but see, here's the thing. You know, it's like the symbiote. You know, in Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. You know, he dons the suit, but the suit also, you know, dictates certain things. It's a symbiotic thing. Me and the Crown are one at times. We may disagree, but we are still one. And until
there's an overwhelming victory.
I mean, hey, look, by an inch or by a mile, you know, a win is a win.
Okay. All right, Dom. All right, Toretto.
You know what? I think it's time for us to buy in and try to get this crown and try to go all out to get this crown from Mr. Dizzle.
See, here's the thing, because I've had this for months. For months.
Yeah, months don't feel like it's that long.
Look, after All Out, I will be King Diesley.
Okay.
I mean, you keep calling yourself the Prince of Positivity, but I mean,
I mean, the Prince of Positivity is fine because the thing is, I'm a humble guy. I know that there's somebody, you know, but see, after months, soon be the
Wait a minute, Scoot, for SummerSlam and NXT, what was the record again?
We were all tied for NXT, and him and I were tied for SummerSlam. We were 7-2 and 1.
So it sounds like there's not a clear and decisive victory over the SummerSlam and NXT thing there.
Like I said, it's fine because he's right. If a match usually comes to a draw, the champion usually retains. So he's right. That's why I'm saying in 2 weeks it's time for us to buy in and go all out.
Yep. I honestly have to agree with you there, Scoot. All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, come for the would-be
All
king.
I know is that on AEW standards, I mean, I usually pull ahead in those regards, but
until I come with the win. Shout out to All In.
Okay.
all right. I mean, All In was something that I attended, but all right.
No, I meant this year's All In. But I will step down off my pedestal and become a humble servant and give a too sweet to my bros.
Hey.
A royal too sweet to my bros.
There we go.
Bada bam, bada boom. And again, whether you love this shit, whether you hate it, don't forget to rate it. Comment down below all your opinions. We welcome it all. We do not shy away from anything.
Bad, ugly, flirty, whatever.
Hit that notification bell so you can get all the updates and indicators of when we throw shit up on fucking YouTube. But most importantly, mother effing subscribe. And until you hear these handsome voices, well, see these handsome faces and hear these immaculate voices, I bid you all adieu and a mother effing tag the fucketh out.